Hi, my name is Tannuja Rozario, and I'm a daughter of Indo-Caribbean resistors. I was born and raised in Guyana, and I migrated to New York when I was just 6 years old. But my life in Guyana and here were not that much different. From such a young age, I witnessed gender-based violence in Guyana, treatment of LGBTQ community in Guyana, and even reproductive injustice. And when I came here, I thought it would be different. I thought life would be better, but moving into an Indo-Caribbean community here in Queens, New York, I saw the same issues, grew up with the same issues, and throughout my life, I kept looking back. I kept looking back on my experiences in both Guyana and what I could do. I then decided to get a degree, right? This is something that our parents always pride us with. And so I decided to major in gender studies. And it's something that was so dear and close to my heart because of the gender-based violence and treatment that we face as part of the LGBTQ community. And I wanted to become more educated on that. I am teaching gender studies, and I'm teaching students that look like me, brown, Black folks, queer folks, and I love it. And I love bringing my research into my community as well. I am an immigrant, I am queer, I am brown. I had to navigate these identities either separately or together. I had to navigate my brown identity different than from going to grad school, where the spaces that I was in, I was the only brown person in my classrooms. I was the only woman in my classroom, the only queer person in my classroom. And navigating that in a new space was so difficult because it brought new challenges. I often got ostracized in some of the spaces that I'm in because I'm brown, because I'm Indo-Caribbean, because my history wasn't acknowledged or understood from where I came from. And even growing up in this community too, I also had to hold back. I had to hold back on my sexuality a lot. I couldn't come out. I couldn't openly identify as queer in fear. The one thing that scares me is this fear of losing family, fear of losing them and being ostracized by them. I love my family so dearly, and sometimes it's really hard and it's really scary that I know they're not accepting of it. And so I'm really fearful that I'm going to lose my relationship with them. I'm really fearful that they're not going to talk to me anymore. I'm really fearful that, you know, one of the things that I've often talked about and my parents talk about, my parents being let out of the family as well. And with their acceptance, and I know it's really hard on them, they're also accepting all these other things too. We're all going through it together. And I have to recognize that I'm not the only one in this situation that is scared. They're scared too. And so I'm really fearful that they will lose their family relationships as well. This journey of coming out is still a journey that I'm on because I feel like I'm always coming out over and over. Speaking at the Live Pridefully event was one of the first times ever in my life that I felt like I could breathe in a sense, but I could breathe better and something was like lifted off of my shoulders, because all my life I felt like I had to hide who I was. I had to hide my sexuality, right? Navigating these spaces have been so hard for me. And I think because of COVID-19, because of the pandemic, I've realized that there is community out there. There is community like Caribbean Equality Project. There is community that can support you, that can be there for you. And for the first time ever, I felt that closeness and I felt that community and I felt that I had that support. And that really gave me the courage to come out publicly. To live pridefully for me means to be able to show yourself compassion, to show yourself love, especially in this time of chaos. To live pridefully also means to use your voice, to use your power, especially for those that don't have that voice or power. And there are so many ways that you could use that voice and power. And for me, it's doing what I love. Doing what I love is doing my activism work. Currently, I am a founding board member of South Queens Women's March. And we are a gender justice organization here in South Queens. We were actually founded because of the gender-based violence that our Indo-Caribbean community and our Caribbean communities have been experiencing. And we wanted to stand up. We wanted to do something about it. And we wanted to serve the community in ways that we don't have here in South Queens. And so for our main work, we've been doing a lot of gender-based violence prevention and intervention work, where we've been hosting a lot of healthy relationship workshops, safe sex workshops. We've been having conversations with community members and creating gender-based violence resources to get help. Love and resilience for me is simple. It's about community. Showing love to your community, showing compassion to your community during this time, showing yourself compassion during this time. Everything that has been going on with these new reproductive restrictions that have been happening over and over, taking our rights away, attacking our bodies. Our bodies are currently a battleground, right? And it's hard. It's hard to be resilient during these times. It's hard to show love during these times, especially when you don't feel it, especially when your communities are the ones being attacked by these harmful laws and institutions that continue to control us. It's important for you to show yourself that love, to show your community that love and care during this time. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my community, if it wasn't for the support that I've gotten these past 2 years with this pandemic. And it's brought us so much closer. And so even after this pandemic, continue to cultivate those networks, continue to be there for each other.